If you want to get in contact with me, the best way to do it is on Instagram. If you just want to say what up, if you want to tell me you love my videos, you can tell me that you hate my videos, but the best way to do that is on Instagram. Peace, y'all. Johnny Fastlane here. So, St. Louis rapper Baby Huey gets shot and killed, and Freddie Gibbs calls Young Jeezy musically irrelevant. Plus, Kanye West falls into the gap. Let's talk hip-hop. Alright, yo, this is sad, right? And there's not too much information on this, but basically, Baby Huey, or just Huey, and y'all know him from like 2006. He dropped that song, Pop Like It Drop It, Pop Like It Drop It. He was shot and killed yesterday, man, like last night around 11 o'clock at night, right? Apparently he was like chilling outside of somebody's crib in St. Louis. It was a bunch of people outside, about 10 people, and there was a shooting. So like somebody just like opened fire and shot him and one of his homeboys, right? Well, we don't really know if it was one of his homeboys or somebody just standing next to him or in the crowd of people, right? Ambulance show up, they rush Huey to the hospital, and there he was pronounced dead, right? About an hour later, somebody else walks into a police station with a gunshot wound, and the cops realize that that person was shot in the same incident that Huey was shot in an hour prior to, right? So, you know, that's all they know for now. There's been no arrest. There was mad witnesses, so I'm sure that people know something, but, you know, it just depends if the hood's gonna talk or if it's gonna be handled in the streets, right? We don't know. But that's all we know for now. But this situation is just crazy, yo. Let me know what y'all think about this in the comments.
Young Jeezy is musically irrelevant. Let's be real, dog. You know what I mean? Be real. Did you listen to his last album? No, you fucking didn't. You know what I mean? I love fam.
I'd like to comment on it.
No, we don't got to comment on
I
shit.
just took a shot. You asked me a question.
Bro.
I don't want to be here
He's
while you...
a legend.
Listen.
A legend.
I will say this.
But right now, you're irrelevant.
You asked me a question.
And what you want to do? You want to fight? You don't want that.
Listen.
I love you.
I understand
I love you, fam. But you can't.
Allow me to speak
You
on
can't fight me. You can't out-rap me.
Any
nigga that can't beat me up or out-rap me, I don't really give a fuck about.
Fred?
Let me get...
Alright, yo, so that was a clip of Freddie Gibbs on the Bootleg Kev show, right? And as y'all can see, he's basically like, yo, Jeezy is musically irrelevant, right? He's like, yeah, he's a legend and all that, but he's musically irrelevant, right? And then he goes, and what can he do? He can't say nothing. He ain't gonna fight me and blah, 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 right? And I'm like, yo, Freddie Gibbs is wildin', right? But this comes after, you know, years and years and years of Freddie Gibbs dissing Jeezy, right? So this is not just brand new. It's just like he just decided he was to talk about Jeezy again, right? So the whole situation is in another interview that happened maybe like 2 or 3 years ago. Freddie Gibbs kind of talked about his beef with Young Jeezy and said that, you know, basically meeting your hero or somebody that you look up to in hip hop could be good or bad, right? And basically he explained that when he met Jeezy, you know, he thought that Jeezy was one type of person through his music, but when he met him, he realized that Jeezy was a fake ass nigga. He was a sucker. He didn't treat his friends or his homeboys with respect and different things like that, right? And actually, Freddie Gibbs signed to Jeezy's CTE record label years ago, right? The whole situation, I think he was like on CTE only for like a year or something like that because, well, according to Freddie Gibbs, they had creative differences, so Freddie Gibbs decided to, you know, just leave the record label, right? According to Jeezy, though, Jeezy said that Freddie Gibbs leaked a song. Jeezy had like some song with him and Eminem, right? And Freddie Gibbs apparently wanted the song to come out, so Freddie Gibbs leaked the Eminem and Young Jeezy song, right? Then of course Eminem gets mad at Young Jeezy. What the fuck? You're running your house kind of crazy. How could this song leak? And then, you know, Freddie Gibbs caused an issue between Jeezy and Eminem. So at that point, Jeezy was kind of like, nah, I ain't really fucking with Freddie Gibbs like that, right? After that, Freddie Gibbs on every single interview that he could, you know, was dissing Jeezy and talking shit about Jeezy to the point where I don't even feel like it's beef with Jeezy and Freddie Gibbs. I think that Jeezy's just chilling and then Freddie Gibbs got beef with him. You know what I'm saying? But it's crazy. So, all right, you calling Jeezy musically irrelevant, right? which is crazy because Jeezy is a legend out here in this hip hop shit, right? You talking about can't ban the snowman campaign, right? You talking about the stop snitching campaign, right? I mean, like, what would you rather have? Thug Motivation 101 or Bandana, right? Would you rather have like Slick Pulla or like Mad Lib, right? And I'm not saying that, you know, Freddie Gibbs is a trash rapper because he's a good rapper, right? But come on, imagine somebody being like, yo, put on that new Freddie Gibbs. Like, what's the last Freddie Gibbs song that you've actually listened to? Right? So if you're talking about relevance, even though Jeezy was hot, you know, 15 years ago, he had, you know, summer 2005 on lock, he is still more influential in hip hop than a Freddie Gibbs. And I'm just going to be honest with you, right? But even though Freddie Gibbs is a good rapper, he's just not that influential in hip hop, right? And it's crazy because, you know, social media is a double-edged sword because this is the whole thing that I was saying. Like, for example, you know, with social media, you could like an artist's music and then you find out their personality and you just think that they're an asshole, right? Like, Freddie Gibbs has good music, but his personality makes me think he's an asshole. He done talk shit about Kaepernick back in 2019. He done talk shit about academics, and I thought it was some sucker shit because he tried to rope academics into some street shit when academics ain't no street nigga. Then he wants to be like, oh, you ain't gonna fight me, you ain't gonna see me on the streets, academics, you ain't gonna do nothing. And it's like, of course academics not gonna do nothing. He's not a street nigga. Stop picking on a nigga that's not a street nigga, right? And now this, right? So I really feel like Freddie Gibbs is a lame ass nigga. Good music, but through social media, and I'm seeing your personality, and I feel like you kind of a lame, right? Whereas, for example, on the other side of the coin, YK Osiris, you know, his music is okay, but through social media, I'm like, oh wow, this dude is funny as hell, and I like him, right? So social media could be a double-edged sword. It could help you or it could hurt you. It just depends on if you're a fucking dick or not, right? But anyway, let me know what y'all think about this in the comments.
And you know, I went to the Gap and I said, let me try to do something, and I couldn't get past the politics. And I'm like, I'm telling you, I got it. I know it. I can do it. Give me a shot. You know?
Alright, Joe, this is dope, right? Because that was a clip of an interview that Kanye West did probably about 3 years ago talking about how he wants to work with the Gap, right? This is funny because he actually announced today that he has finally officially partnered with the Gap themselves, right? So the whole situation is, I feel like ever since Kanye West was probably in high school or something like that, he wanted to work with the Gap. Now, keep in mind, when he was in high school, he did work at the Gap, but he didn't work with the Gap, right? Even in his music, he's always rapping about the Gap. Back in 2015, he said he wanted to be the Steve Jobs of Gap, which is insane. But now, they finally inked a deal, right? And the whole situation is, back when he wanted to bring his Yeezy brand to the Gap 3 years ago, Yeezy wasn't worth nearly as much as it's worth now. So I'm sure his accomplishments between then and now kind of nudged Gap in the right direction, right? When you think about like what Kanye West is going to be bringing to them with his fashion design and the clothes and everything, it kind of almost makes a whole lot of sense that, you know, Yeezy's clothes will be compared with the Gap, right? So he's going to be making men's clothes, women's clothes, and children's clothes. He's not going to be like giving them any kind of sneaker designs. For that's going to stay with Adidas, right? And you got to keep in mind that Kanye West owns 100% of the Yeezy brand. So this deal right here, he's already a billionaire, but this deal right here is going to push him over even more, right? I mean, this just shows us how much like music can be your stepping stone, but these artists, they really making this money in other areas, right? Rihanna really made her money with Fenty Beauty, right? Kylie Jenner really made her money with her makeup. Jay-Z really made his money with Ace of Spades, right? They started with music, but these other things are actually getting them more bread than the music could ever, right? And that's just dope, man. Also, Kim K, y'all know, Kanye's wife, actually went on Instagram and she was like, if anyone knows Kanye, they know how much the Gap and Yeezy means to him, so this partnership is his dream come true. I'm so proud of him, and you guys are gonna love what they have in store for everyone. From working at the Gap to this partnership, it's so inspiring. Best day ever, right? And this is cool. So everything is actually supposed to drop in 2021, so next year, I guess like during this year, they're going to be trying to figure out all the designs, and it's coming, man. And also, you know, they said that it's going to be priced at a very good price point, which is cool because y'all know Kanye West be charging mad money for his shit, and Gap doesn't really charge that much money for their stuff at all. And also, this is dope, and a lot of people think that Kanye West could probably save the Gap, because as quiet as it's been kept, the Gap, ever since the coronavirus hit, their sales have been down at least 50%, at least in the first quarter, and their first quarter closed on May 2nd, so they were really lacking. They were in the red, but now they're about to bounce back, because just this morning, it's Friday right now, Friday morning, Gap shares went up 39% based off of one tweet that Kanye West put out. So if y'all could see what that means, Kanye West is about to make the Gap and himself a lot of damn money, all right? But let me know what y'all think about this and everything else in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. Make sure you hit that notification bell. Follow me at Johnny Fastlane on Instagram, and y'all already know what to do. Peace.